So hello again, and this is the my favourite part of the broadcast. It's the favouritism round. This is where we really get to know our guests, and our guest on this occasion is the lovely Helene Sewell, who's joined us. So Helen, I'm gonna go straight into the questions. So the first of your favourites. What is your favourite pastime or hobby?
See, I struggle because I have two, and they hold equal space in my heart. The
Okay.
first one is that I ride sports motorbikes either on track or on the road for pleasure.
So you're a real speed demon then.
I'm afraid I am. I like them fast, and I just love the feel of riding a motorcycle. It's the being at one with the machine.
Mm,
The relationship you have with the motorbike is completely different to that of a car. Because you and the machine are just one, and the slightest muscle movement will have an impact on the machine. So you can't ride a motorbike and eat a sandwich and speak on the phone and and think about last night's film. You are riding a motorbike and that's it. And it's the closest I will get to flying because I suffer from vertigo. So I'm much more
ah,
comfortable at 4 feet off the ground.
that's fair enough. Or if you're taking the bends really fast, about 12
Even
inches off the
closer,
ground.
yes.
Yeah.
And then my other hobby is to grow vegetables.
Okay.
Well,
All
fruit
right.
and veg. I
Okay.
have a vegetable patch, and this is my mental break. This is where I just escape and think about nothing else and thoroughly enjoy just nurturing and bringing produce into my kitchen and cooking a nice meal with it. Yes.
Okay. So let's move on to our favorite celebrity from any field and why.
Well, I don't know how if she is truly a celebrity, but for me, it's Sarah Blakely, and she's the founder of Spanx, which is the first female owned billion-dollar business in the US, and she's built it from scratch, with $5,000 a $5,000 loan to start with. And for me, it's a true story of passion, grit, and business acumen.
Yeah, definitely. I think she appeared on, there's a podcast called How I Built This,
Mm.
and she was one of the guests on there, and how she
And
was
she's
struggling
a
with.
thoroughly nice person as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And she was struggling with people to try and get this material, this new
Mm.
material that was going to stretch and do all this. And it's fantastic. Someone just diving into the world of the complete unknown
Yeah,
and just speaking and just finding the right people and having conversations and just building something
yeah,
out
yeah.
of effectively what was nothing. It was just an idea.
It was. It was, and I
Yeah.
think it took her about a couple of years to get the product developed in an
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
industry that was male dominated, and she came along as a female entrepreneur with those ideas, and no, it's not going to work. No, I can't do this, and but eventually she did find the right partners, and there you go.
Yeah.
So famous last word. Oh, it will never take off.
Yeah, well, the thing was, she made this great development of finding a product that actually worked and did what it said on the tin. But then it was then having to go to the big stores and sell the idea to people, wasn't it? It was,
Yeah,
yeah,
and
phenomenal.
she went about it in a very unusual way, but very personable way, and managed to break through like this. But honestly, I draw my hat, because I think she's a very inspiring person. She's got a
Yeah.
lot of humility. She's never been the CEO of her own business.
Oh, really?
No, because she knew she wasn't the right person to be the CEO.
Gotcha.
She knew that her skill set was marketing. That's what she loved. That's what she was good at. So she was always in charge of the marketing to start with, of course. When it was really small, she was, the one and only manager. But as soon as she could, she brought in a separate CEO because she knew she wasn't the one for the job. And I think that shows a lot about self-awareness, business acumen, and understanding what it takes for something to work.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so next, your favorite food or meal?
See, I always struggle with things like that because I don't have a favorite meal. And people say, "Oh, if you were to die tomorrow, what would you like to be your last dinner?" I have no idea. I like things that are flavorsome and healthy. Lots of veg. I'm a big fan of eating vegetables. I eat meat in moderation and carbs even less because I'm growing old. But flavorsome. I like cuisines from around the world. Mexican, Indian, Japanese, Chinese, Spanish, Italian, you name it. I think there's beautiful food all around the world.
Oh yeah, you make me feel hungry now. All right, okay. I have to go for a snack again soon. Right, okay. So your favorite cartoon?
My favorite cartoon is the Polar Express. I'm a big fan of Christmas. And I have a beautiful memory of watching this film with my kids we'd taken them to Alton Towers around Christmas time, for a couple of days. And we had a thoroughly wonderful time. And it's a memory that stayed in my mind. And that's obviously I associate Polar Express with that memory.
Yeah. And when he actually hears the bell again, isn't it? Yeah. The magic of Christmas. There is something about that, isn't there? Excellent. Okay. So now your favorite film.
Um, Now I had to think about that one, but I do think it's Inception because I think there are so many layers to that film. I've watched it number of times, and I always see something different in it. I think there is
Yeah.
such depth in that film, and I think it's extraordinary to that people can even conceptualize a film like this. And I thought the acting was brilliant as well. So yeah, Inception.
Your favorite TV show?
Well, that was a really difficult one because I just don't watch TV. I watch the odd film, but as I don't watch TV. So there is a show that I have probably watched more than I have anything else, which doesn't say that much, but I have seen more of that than anything else. That's Top Gear. That's because I like cars and motorbikes.
Yeah, of course. Yes, the petrol head
Yeah.
inside of
Which
you.
Top Gear? That's the big $6 million question. Which Top Gear?
And you mean before or after Jeremy Clarkson?
Which team? Which team?
Pre-Clarkson, post-Clarkson.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I have seen some pre-Clarkson one, and I have seen some post-Clarkson, and the first few after post-Clarkson, I wasn't all that interested. But I do think that as a team, the new team has actually started to gel a bit more. So
Yeah.
it's becoming more entertaining and more interesting as they have learned to work together better as the new team.
Okay, so we're going to finish off with my favorite of favorites, of course. Your favorite comedy?
Well, I didn't have to think too hard about that one. It's Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Love it.
I know for a French woman that is probably quite surprising. But 30 years in this country, and I have truly embraced the English sense of humor. I love it. You don't get more English humor than Monty Python. It has been part of my education, I would say, because I came to the UK when I was in my early 20s. For me, watching the likes of Monty Python's, and it's really helped me understand British culture.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and when I started to find it funny, and I thought, yeah, I'm getting the hang of this. because I came to live to the UK because it felt like home, but you still need to settle, and that was part of my settling into British culture, and all kind of films done by that generation of comedians.
Yeah.
I also watched Basil, Fawlty Towers, and things like that.
Yes. Well, I think Monty Python the team were pioneers.
Yeah.
It was such a new style of comedy, and it was really, it was a dangerous thing. It could have completely flopped, but it just got this cult viewing, didn't it? Still today. Absolutely brilliant. That's great. So thanks ever so much, Helen, for sharing some of your favourites today. And it's been a pleasure having you. Thanks very much.
It's been a pleasure being here. Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Yeah, bye,
Have a
everyone.
good day. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye.